Welcome to Tahu Talks, where we dive into the rich tapestry of Ngāi Tahu stories. In today's episode, I'm joined by the kazi Rulon Nutira, also known as the Butcher, a proud uri from Ngāi Te Ruahikihiki. Rulon shares his deep love for his whānau and the vibrant hood of Hornby, reflecting on his journey through the world of league and the importance of reo Māori in his life. Join us for an inspiring conversation that celebrates culture, connection, and the power of storytelling. Kazi Rulon Nutira, nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare nei, welcome to Tahu Talks. Thanks for showing up today, Kazi. It's a real pleasure to have you here today. You've been avoiding me, but but you're here. Yay! Thank you for coming.
Tēnā koe te tuahine, tēnā tāua. I runga i ngā tini kaupapa, i ngā tini hononga kei wainganui a tāua. Nōku te waimari. Ki te noho tahi ki a koe, o tira ki te tautoko i tēnei kaupapa. Tahu Talks, that's us, cuz.
Yes.
Just two cousins, Yāni.
Yeah.
Love that.
So, tell me, where'd you grow up, Kazi?
I Tipuaki au, I konei, I Otautahi, on the west side of Christchurch in Hornby. Hoi anō, I roto I taku kāwai, he uri tēnei o Irakehu, o te Ruahikihiki, Ngāti Mako, Ngāti Moki Hoki. Whai muri te kohanga, I went to Hornby Primary, Hornby High School, and then I actually done a year at Christ College.
No way.
To play rugby, but that's all I was there for, to play rugby. I kore taki au I roto I ngā akomanga. So rugby training, went to dumplings, went to timeout, come back and played my game.
Christ College, pretty up there, kura. Yeah.
It was a different world.
Mm.
It was a different world, and you know, I was in my community in Hornby and my bros growing up, and then when I went over there, it was, he ao anō.
Oh.
It was good. I still got some mates though from there, and I still got, you know, my connection there.
Yeah.
And I look back at it at the time when I was going there, I wasn't too, you know, proud to be a cross college boy, but now, you know, I look back at it and say, well, that was a mean opportunity. I've done this, I've done that with them, and still got those connections today that, I support. Yeah.
Why is that, Kazi? Why were you a bit whakamā?
I think because tino Pākehā taua kura, and with all my friends and whānau here over on this side, Hornby on the west side here, we just done things differently. We ate different, we spoke different, we thought different. So it was a huge adjustment going there. Looking back at it now, I appreciate the opportunity. I remember Mum really wanting me to take it and have a go and further my education in there. Mum always says, once I left Christ College, I came back and I could hold conversations. Yeah. I was one of those who just mumble and grunt and wouldn't want to talk to people and a bit shy. So I gained some skills out of there, I reckon. Yeah.
Dumplings.
Dumplings to time
One
out.
of my teenage memories, man. Everyone used to go to dumplings, Kazi, in town after kura. $2 rice.
Yeah, that was me.
The first time I ever went to dumplings was when it was, you had to walk through Ballantynes to get to it. But 13 years old was when I first started going to dumplings, and it's still around in the same whānau.
Same whānau.
Still running it. They're
still
ricketing
nice
now. Yeah. But the papa, he's finally retired.
Oh.
Peter. Yeah.
Pete.
He's a cracker, babe.
He's mean.
Yeah.
Well, every time I went in there, because I was wearing my uniform, he'd always call me out, Christ College boy, even today. I walk in there with the kids and he's like, hey, Christ College. That's how he knew me. The only Māori wearing a Christ College uniform in that time. Yeah.
So after high school, what'd you get up to?
Yeah, I left school at fourth form, and got a job. I was out there doing whatever. I think my first job, I was picking up golf balls at the local golf driving range.
True.
From there, worked at a factory picking and packing veggies and fruit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just down in Hornby. And so that was mean. I got to take the fruit home and the veggies home every afternoon.
Cool.
And then jumped in, as you do as a 14, 15-year-old, jump in Allied and do all the construction mahi. And the good thing about Allied workforce is you get to taste everything. You do a bit of mahi over here, and then you can sort of find what you like and you don't like. And you don't, So that was me as a 13, 14-year-old. Mahi, earn the money and
Yeah, what was it like earning your own money? Like, did you go wild with your pūtea then? Was like, shouting the boys all the feeds in the world?
There was
like,
only a couple
boys,
of us, There was only a couple of us in our crew that had a job, and we thought we were ballers and thought we were rich as and getting paid, a couple of $100, thinking that's mean as, and that was us saying, kai's on, fish and chips on, drinks, go here, go there. Yeah. Thought we were free. we were free, we were off. Jump on the bus and go wherever. Yeah.
And where did you meet your lovely wahine?
In my group of friends, I bumped into this pretty puhi, no tūhoi, and then I was like, wow, love at first sight, they reckon. And ended up, we just got cell phones back in those days, and 20-cent texts and all that. Got her number and then sent her a text, and then we were talking away, and then I ended up meeting her at a farewell party in Burnham. With her kapahaka, tiore kapahaka. They were having a bit of a gathering out there, and me and the bros sort of just rocked up, made ourselves at home. We knew everyone there, but we were there, and then I met Kata. We sort of locked lips, and then I didn't let go, and so we were about, I would have been just turned 16. Kata would have been, 15, just turned 15. From there, used to steal her out of school and be a bad influence on her. And we just hung out. We were cool. We were cool. We hung out and just got to know each other. I loved her, and she loved me back. And then, so we've been together. So our daughters now, we got twin daughters. I'll be 18 this year. We've been together 19 years, going on 20 years.
Mean, cuzzy. That's mean so as, mean.
But I've been kicked out heaps of times, as you do. We've only been married 5 years now. 5 years next week. We've been married. We've done everything backwards. But it's maybe that's perfect for us.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe that's the tip, hey? Do things backwards, whānau.
It's working for us at the moment.
When did your league journey begin, Kaze?
So
that?
Growing up, sports, I was all about sports, any sport. Anything with a ball, soccer, league, rugby, volleyball, sorry, I tell a lie. I'm not good at all sports. I'm not really good at non-contact sports.
Oh, okay.
But if we can bang each other, I'm in there.
Cool. So Connect 4, I will smash you.
That's right. Pool, darts. I'm useless. So league's been part of my life and still is, right from what I can remember. Hornby Panthers, Riccarton Knights, had a go at rugby. I was playing out in the country, out in the Ellesmere competition for West Melton. So that was the closest country team to Hornby, just down the road. And so that was cool, because when I started playing rugby, league was on Sundays and rugby was on Saturdays. So we could all play rugby Saturday and then wake up and play league again on Sunday. And that was us. So league for me was a chance to bang other fellas. From the east, from wherever. And
when did the opportunity arise for Aussie?
So
how did that fall on your lap?
Throughout the grades, the 13s, 14s, under 15s and all that, I was making the rep teams, the Canterbury teams, and there was always national tournaments. When I was 15, I was playing upper grade for Canterbury. Played in the national tournament, and ended up getting selected for Junior Kiwis.
Sure.
And when we were away, there was 2 squads, the 18s, the 16s. And when you're in that environment, all the scouts are around, sniffing around, having a look and seeing the talent coming through.
Yeah.
And so, I was just turned 15, playing Junior Kiwis, and this fella come and approached my mum from the Parramatta Eels.
Oh, yeah.
And then being Māori, Mum said, "Oh, come over home for a cup of tea. Come over home, meet the whānau, see where we're living, really get to know who we are." And he did, and taku mihi nui ki aia, because this fella, I didn't know at the time, but this fella played for the Kangaroos. He's up there in the NRL clubs, played State of Origin.
True.
And he come over home and he met the whānau.
Yeah.
Had a cup of tea, had a kai, with us, and my mum and my uncle, who was a big father figure in my life, especially in league and in everything. My uncle Moko, he was there, and he was the bad cop. Mum was the good cop, he was the bad cop. Just sussing this fella out. What are you offering? What do you want? Yeah. Anyways, he offered a opportunity to be part of a NRL system. So from 15. I got an opportunity with Parramatta Eels. At the end of that, 16 years old, I moved over full time. He ao anō, rereke te ao, and I had to grow up pretty fast and learn. The good thing is with those clubs over there, they have the right support around you, and the players, the older players that have been there, done that, they like to take you under the wing. So I was quite lucky. Mum and that stayed here. Kata. When I first moved over, she was hapū at the time. So that was hard. So I was trying to navigate, holy moly, I'm going to be a dad soon. Got no mum, my brothers and sisters. My bros are, because I'm quite loyal to my bros, and I was over there by myself. But, mahi a te mahi, over there, their support system's awesome.
Cool.
Awesome as I moved in with a whānau, and they got a clubhouse with players like me as well, going over with no whānau.
Oh, yeah.
So when I played league here at home, it was to represent. It was to be the best in Christchurch. But over there, it's details, the technicalities, the commitment, that look after your tinana, your diet, your own training, got to maintain your injuries, so rehab, doctors, all of that stuff. Parramatta was my club for 5 years. I learned a lot there. And a lot of my life lessons come from the way I approached rugby league.
Really?
Yeah, the professionalism, the listening, the attention to detail. And I take those that sort of lessons and learnings into my everyday life.
Cool. Where did the name Butcher come from? The Butcher.
So I spent 5 years at Parramatta in Sydney.
Yeah.
After that, I moved down to Melbourne and played for Melbourne Storm. Things didn't quite plan out. So I made the decision from there. I was 6 years away from home. And I was away from Kata at that time. Our twins were 3 years old. I'd never lived with them. They were here in Aotearoa. And so I sort of made the decision to throw it in and come home. Yeah. To be by Kata and the girls. And so I'd done that, and I had a year off, and it was the time of the earthquakes.
Oh, okay.
And started playing again for Hornby. From Hornby, I actually made the New Zealand Māori team. Yeah. So I made the New Zealand.
What was that like for you?
Oh, it's my biggest honour.
Yeah,
it's my favourite team I've ever played for.
Yeah.
And it was a vessel for me to reconnect to my te ao Māori. Beautiful. Through rugby league. Yeah. So it's a huge honour, and Māori rugby league is a huge part of my life, still to this very day. But with that, making that New Zealand Māori team, I got another opportunity to go back to Australia, this time with my whānau. And it was to play New South Wales country, bush rugby league they call it. You're out in the country and you got a good job, a good well-paying job, and they look after your whānau and whatnot, and you play out there. So my job, I was working in the freezing works. The abattoirs, and so you know, the local reporters,
Yeah.
they sort of labelled me as the butcher because I'm working in the meatworks.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, mena e hāngai ana ki taku tāera ki runga I te whira, engari, yeah, the butcher came because I was working at the meatworks. Playing rugby league, doing my thing, yeah. And that's it, and it's sort of stuck over there.
Yeah.
But pono taku kōrero, I'm useless on the knife. I actually butcher the meat. So it's stuck for them, not for me or mine. Yeah, it's stuck for them. Yeah. Country Australia, the outback Australia is beautiful. You know, when you see wombats running around, you see kangaroos as roadkill. You know, we're running over hedgehogs over here. Well, they got massive. I thought it were like big horses on the side of the road, but it's kangaroos and wombats, but country Australia is beautiful, beautiful. And we were living in a small town, and I think the population was about 1,800 to 2,000. And so everyone knew who we were. You know, we stood out like sore thumbs. You know, we were amongst all these country Australians, and this whānau Māori, and so it was quite tough because it was a whole nother world, you know, different from being surrounded by whānau all day, every day, being at home, you know, being comfortable, know where you're driving, know where you're going, know all the shortcuts. But over there we had to learn that. And then at that time, our twin daughters just started school, so they started their first year of school was over in Australia, which was hard again because they got very beautiful Māori names.
True.
And the Australians couldn't quite roll their R's or pronounce it correctly. But so, you know, we were trying to navigate through those challenges and whatnot. It was all good. We had each other. And again, in a team sport, you make friends pretty quickly, and good friends too, and beautiful people down there in that town. Still mates with them today. So that was a good experience. So we stayed there for a year, and I worked pretty hard on myself in league. And after that year, I actually got another opportunity in the NRL with the St. George Illawarra Dragons. So we moved up there. Which was a beautiful part of Australia, right on the beaches, surfing town, nice, quiet. It's not a bustling city. It's a beautiful, beautiful town. Yeah,
the life.
Yeah, it was good. So the whānau again. We packed up and moved up there, which is about 2 hours from where we were living. Spent the year there, and then after that year there, I got a opportunity to finish off and play league in Brisbane. So we spent our last 3 years of my league career up in Brisbane in Redcliffe there, North Brisbane. Beautiful. And again, I love Queensland. It's beautiful sunshine state, they call it. The weather's perfect.
Okay, so you're Maroons fan?
No.
We said Queensland, so I was like, okay.
The place. The place and the people are beautiful. New South Wales, a true blue. And people ask why. When I was growing up watching State of Origin, all my favourite players were, or the players that I liked anyway, were playing for New South Wales. And they were sort of the underdogs at that time. But when my first year at Parramatta, I was lucky enough to make the New South Wales State of Origin team for the under-17s.
Cool, cousin.
Huge achievement. And so when I got selected for that, we went into camp with the big boys. And we trained with them, we were in camp together. You know, we done our own little training, but we done everything with the big boys. And we played at ANZ Stadium, it was called in that time, the big stadium in Sydney. And we played before the main game. And
cool.
So whakapapa tāku ki New South Wales. Literally, you know. And so I played for them, true blue ever since. We won our game by 50, we smoked them. That was a mean experience. I pulled out, my son found my old DVD. Remember DVDs? Got all these DVDs of old games, and then the boy pulled it out and goes, fine. We were watching it, bringing back memories. And we started off that game for State of Origin, there was like a couple of hundred people in the stands, all our whānau.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just our whānau.
Yeah.
About half time, it was sort of about half full,
Yeah.
the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Full time when we smoked Queensland, we done our victory lap in front of 80,000 people.
Yeah. Father, that must have been a
Yeah,
vibe.
so, it was mean. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
So, I'm true blue New South Wales.
Cool, Cuzzy, cool. Just good to know. Just asking. And then the move back home. Why the move back home?
So we were in Brisbane, Redcliffe. I was running around with the Redcliffe Dolphins at the time, and Kata, she got sick.
Oh, yeah.
She got mawīwi, but we were we're in the right place. Brisbane, the Royal Brisbane Hospital is famous as being probably the best hospital in Australia for her, to look after her. And at the time she got sick, she was just about to go in and have some major surgeries and treatments and stuff like that. I actually snapped my Achilles the week off.
Oh, nah.
Well, he tohu pai tērā, because I got the opportunity to stay home with her.
Oh, yeah.
And help her go through her treatments and what she was going through.
Yeah.
And at the time, because if I was still fit and healthy, I'd have to focus on league.
True.
And I couldn't give my 100% focus on kata.
Yeah.
So he tohu pai tērā. I snapped my Achilles. I was on one leg, but I got to be there for kata the whole way, every day, while she was going through that. So that particular year was quite tough for us as a whānau. We try to keep the kids, the kids were still going to school every day and keep them in the normal routine. Kata was in a routine to get her treatment done, and I was on one leg trying to do my own rehab. So we got through that year, come out on the other side, and the girls, our daughters, were about to turn 10, and our son was just turning 5.
Oh, yeah.
And throughout that year, we had, Kata and I had a lot of conversations about, should we stay here, should we go, and then he whakatau māua. But ko eke te wā, me hoki atu ki te kāinga. One of the main reasons we didn't want our kids having an Aussie twang.
Well, the twins, they would have, by then.
Well, they actually didn't.
Oh, yeah.
They actually didn't, but they were, we just didn't want to run the risk. Don't be Aussies
before it
starts. So
let's go back home.
We thought it was the right time. We went through a bit. I had a good run at rugby league, and Kata was going through it. We were all going through a tough time. So the girls were 10, the boy was 5. Time to come home and raise our whānau here. And when we moved home, we moved straight back in with our parents, with Kata's mum and dad out of Rolleston, and we made all the noise and all the mess in the whare.
As you do. But they would have, loved having their mokos with them.
Absolutely, yeah. They loved it, because we were away in Australia for so long. It was, FaceTime and video calls weren't that accessible back in then. It was only just starting, and it still cost heaps and whatnot. So they really missed their mokos, and they were so excited that we were home. Because our kids, we started early with our first moko in our whānau, first moko tuarua in our whānau. So they really missed them, and they loved it. So
when did your reo journey begin, Kazi?
Nohi ana, I haere au ki te kohanga, te huru ao o Horomako. And we're still heavily involved with that. Mum's one of the taua there now. She has been from mai rānoa, and so went to kohanga, and I can't really remember, but Mum reckons that I could speak, coming out of kohanga, but no muri mai tērā, I haere au ki ngā kura Pākehā, and I kōrero Pākehā hau i ngā wā katoa. So I think it had it in me, but I just never used it, and my environment was, we spoke English all the time. I tipu ake au ki runga i ngā marae. Mum and my aunties, they're heavily involved at taumutu. way before I was around, you know, and from my koro and waku tipuna tērā e takutu ana ki te urupa, Orariki. So we've always been heavily involved with the marae. Kaupapa mai, kaupapa atu, that's us. Mum's one of our, you know, she's in the kitchen leading from the back.
Cool.
Her tuakana, Auntie Tanya, she's our knowledge holder.
Yes,
you know,
yes, she is.
Talk whakapapa,
Yeah.
talk pūrākau, talk tikanga, whatever. I annoy her. I annoy her the most. I always, Auntie, what's this, what's that? So I go to her.
Cool.
And the mātāmua, my Auntie Rosie, she's the longest kaimahi at Taumutu, at the tari at Taumutu. She knows everything about the history and you know, the recent history. So if I ever needed to figure something out, I'll go to her.
Me.
Our whānau are heavily involved at Taumutu. So being around kaupapa Māori, mahi Māori, tangihana, kapahaka, all of that, that's my upbringing. Mum was a kaihaka. She was a kaihaka e ngā pōtiki, ngā Aotearoa, te ahi kāroa.
True.
Yeah, so, you know, had to follow her around, help out at tangi, help go to kapahaka, you know, all of that stuff. So the reo was always around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, i te wāka hoki mai i ahi tareiria, e mōhio ana ko ngaro tētahi mea ki roto i āhau, ara, ko te reo Māori tērā, ko te ao Māori tērā. But we come home, and my father-in-law, Mātua Miru, he tūhoi ia, and, you know, matatau i te ao Māori, i te reo Māori, ngā mahi Māori, so every night we'll just have a cup of tea in a wānanga.
Rawe.
And that's how it started, is, yeah, nāna i tahu te ahi ki roto i au. It was him that reignited that, my passion to learn the reo, and he really drove it, you know, and he, in his own way. And that's all it was. It was cup of teas, it was yarns on the couch, it was million questions from me, million lessons from him. And then I just chose that, yeah, I wanted to pursue hoki mai te reo. And so spending a lot of time with him, kaupapa as well, personally getting back into the mahi of the marae, mahi runanga. I sort of seen I roto i tōku whānau ake, there was a gap missing. Mum and aunties aren't fully fluent speakers. You know, you can speak to them and they understand. Yep. But there was a gap within our whānau. There weren't any real speakers. So I just, my passion to learn, I'm still learning. Yeah. I went out and done whatever I could, got involved in kaupapa that could aki i au. So I went to the whare wānanga, you know, all that stuff, kaupapa, kapahaka, all of that, yeah. And so sat down, knuckled down 3 years or so, 4 years or so at the whare wānanga o Aotearoa. Goodbye. E roto i ngā akomanga rumaki. Had some awesome kaiako there that is, you know, mean bros now. Yeah. And awesome kaiako, awesome kaiako. Who were the kaiako there when you were there? My first one was Takumete Nessie. Ah, yes. Yeah. So, ko ia, no muri mai tērā ko whae tuini wō. Ah, yeah. No tūwhare tō ia. And no muri mai ia, ko Joni Waitoki tērā, no Waikato. And kei reira tonu e whakaako i te reo rangatira ki te wānanga o Aotearoa. So, e mihi nui ki a rātou o tira, rātou katoa, you know, my friends, they were in the same class as me. But I think, going to the wānanga was all right to learn those, you know, ngā wete reo, ngā tū reo, te reo. But I think my involvement at the marae and my wānanga at home, it was where i ahu mai taku reo. How did you find yourself to be on the pai? E roto i ngā akoranga i te taho o Mātua Miru. We were talking about whai kōrero and stuff, because there's a big gap at Taumutu. You know, we don't have a wealth of speakers. I au e tipu ake, ko taku pāpa e te Mairiki Williams tērā. Ai. Ko ia tētahi o aku iho pūmanoa, And mai rano, you know, was him. He was our speaker. And kei te māwiwi haere taku pāpā. And so there's a bit of a gap there. We don't have the luxury that we have a lot to pick from. A lot of lessons with Matua Miru about whai kōrero. He's passionate about that mahi. And through those lessons, learning why you do it, for what purpose, how you do it, the different many styles, the different many tikanga no iwi ke, no ao ke, and all that. And it just got me thinking, oh yeah, how do we do it? And with a bit more understanding, what are we doing at Taumotu? So we went on a whānau road trip up to the Uruwera, to Ruatuki 2020, for a whānau reunion, for Kata's whānau reunion. We were there was heaps of us there. And we drove up, and we got to Wellington, stayed the night in Wellington, and then we were having dinner there. And Matua Miru goes, bro, tomorrow when we get to the Marae, mau te kōrero. And I was like, hey, what the, you know, I wasn't that fluent te reo, you know, I've never ever done that before.
Oh, no,
and he put it on me right then and there in front of everyone at the dinner table. He goes, mau te kōrero. And I looked at him, because he's our speaker of our whānau, Matua Miru, and he goes, well, that's my marae. My mum's there, you know, I'm not speaking to my brothers and sisters and my mum.
Yeah.
I'll come on with you, but you speak for your whānau. And so he put that challenge on me. And that was me that night. I was thinking, what the hell am I going to do? Or driving up a 6-hour drive from Wellington to Ruatuki and yeah, just practicing. And that was my first experience. But in saying that, I felt safe because I was next to Matua Miru.
Yeah.
I felt safe, and he wouldn't put me in a position like that if he didn't believe in me. So, you know, and I felt cool. So that was my first experience, and I was honestly so scared because mata tauana, te katoa.
Ruatoki.
Yeah, Ruatoki. Kata's nan was there. Oh my gosh, and I was just, you know, I couldn't get my eyes off her. And we were there in the Uruwera. Oh my gosh. And, so I always fall back onto that
Ngāi Tahu boy speaking on their whenua.
Yeah, so I always hold that experience and that lesson, and, you know, yeah. Kare eke ki te taumata, engari tutuki pai ngā mahi, tutuki ngā mahi katoa. But I hold on to that fear and that whiako, and if I can do it there, in front of Kata's nan, I can do it anywhere.
Yes!
You know? And so from there, but then come back home and again, working hard on myself and pursuing the reo. It took another 2 years after that before I ever stood at Taumotu. And I done it on purpose because of the lessons I've been given by Matua Miru. And my understanding around whai kōrero, he mahi tapu. It's not for anyone, and I'm taking it seriously, really seriously and carefully. So I got approached by a couple of the aunties and people, you know, hey, are you available? Could you do this? And sometimes it just didn't sit right because I didn't feel I was ready. And so I sort of, you know, dodged and, oh, no, not available. And then a couple of years later, I sat down ki te taha o oku hākui, taku mama me ona tuakana. And I had a big wānanga with mum and my aunties around the table, and I laid it out there. I said, hey, I'm passionate of learning. I want to learn. I want to take this seriously. We don't have a speaker in our whānau. Would you support me to pursue this mahi? And we had a massive wānanga, beautiful wānanga, questions, tohu, all of those things with my aunties, and they fully supported me. And I haven't seen a solid pai yet at Taumotu for a while, or especially in these recent years. But for me, ko au te māngai o taku whānau Nutira.
Kia ora.
You know, no Ngāti Moki, no Ngāi Te Ruahikihiki, no Ngāti Irakehu. I don't know yet if I've solidified a spot on the seat on the pai at Taumotu yet. But I kataia. Ka tae. He tauira noa hau, engari, you know, ke te ako tonu, ao i te pōpō i te ao, and yeah, if they need a hand, I can help. But from that, anyways, continuing on with that, ka tū tētahi whare wānanga ki roto o Ngāti Irakehu. E kia nei ko Irakehu pai ki tua. That whare wānanga come up, and there was an opportunity. A karanga went out to our whānau of Ngāti Irakehu. If you're interested in learning mahi o te marae. Ara, ko te whai kōrero, ko te karanga, karakia, e rā momo, mahi ki runga i te marae, hara mai ki te wānanga. And so I did, I turned up, and that whare wānanga is still going strong today, and our bond is stronger and stronger. And it's very inclusive. The door's open to everyone, and it's not just about whai kōrero karanga, karakia, it's about whanaungatanga, getting to know our cousins, about nā mahi katoa o te marae, mai te tari, ki te kēti, ki te ātea, ki te kauta, ki te urupa, yeah, nā mahi katoa. And that's our focus, just coming together again as a iwi. Yeah, no, strengthening our own relationships at home, and just being together on kaupapa, and then being in a safe place to wānanga and to learn off each other. And this, and we're very blessed to have a lot of mai pakeke that have been holding down this sort of mahi for a long, long time. Not only for Ngāti Irakehu, but for our iwi. O rātou, nā tohunga, nā mātanga, you know, ka āta poi, ka whāngai i te hunga pīkoko ki te ako. Yeah. So that's us and Kenny.
Yeah.
The kazi. Me and the bro are sort of on the same journey. You know, we've taken different paths, but we've met up. And i roto i tēnei mahi, you know, we bounce off each other, we learn from each other. We do kaupapa together. You know, as a kāhui, there's more than just me and Kenny. There's a whole iwi of us. There's a whole iwi of us doing our own part, whatever skill we have, and everyone's important. Every role's important.
I love that.
And every role is valued and appreciated. And so, i roto i taua whare wānanga Irakehu pai ki tua, we got a, awesome kaupapa happening to support this mahi on the marae. And not only on the marae, everywhere, in life. You know, it's not just for the marae, it's for life in general. Yeah, so I'm very lucky to be surrounded by experts, teachers that aren't afraid to correct you and aren't afraid to help you and uplift you. I'm learning every day, cuz. Doors have opened for chances to help manaaki kaupapa, manaaki tikanga. Koira te mea nui, koira tā mātou mahi nui, kia manaaki. Manaaki ngā tikanga i te manuhiri, te aukainga, tātou katoa, you know. So those are the beautiful lessons coming out there. And if there's a kaupapa on the marae, you know, I'm able to go and help in any way, whether it's washing dishes, digging holes, whatever it is. Whakatau manuhiri. There was kōrero amongst our tohunga, ko te iko paunamu tētahi, ko Charisma Rangipuna tētahi, Yayan, Cranwell, nui nā tangata e whakaro ana mo, you know, me tū tētahi whare wānanga. Through that, they're our pau, our teachers, our kaumātua, our pau, you know, their lived experiences and keeping us on the right track and supporting us to be ourselves as well, you know. So those names are there every time. You know, they may not be always at the front, but they're at the back and have our backs too. Everyone's inclusive, so we lean a lot on our kaumātua. And the beautiful thing about our kaumātua i roto i a Ngāti Irakehu is they fully support this new tira coming through, being passionate about learning it and taking it seriously and wanting to uphold this mahi on the marae and everywhere we go.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Kazi.
And you know, so we have their support fully. And some it's taken a couple of years to see the fruits. Some weren't supportive of it at the start, and kei te pai tērā, but they've come around and they actually can see, they see
The benefits.
The benefits, the fruits of the work that we do.
Aye.
You know, people only see at our pōwhiri or at our kaupapa, but they don't see the mahi that we're doing at home and the mahi that we're doing in the background and the many wānanga we're having amongst ourselves.
I love that.
You know, to prepare and to be the best that we can be.
I've watched you guys come through. You know, you see hui a iwi te atakura, you know, how big Ngāti Irakehu are on stage now with all their, you know, original waiata that have been composed for their bracket, and, you know, see yous on the pai at different kaupapa. What would you say to whānau that are afraid of change?
Koira te kōrero, ka tō te rā i te ahi, ka ara mai anō i te ata. Tai timu, tai pari. You know, there's always change. Every day there's change. And I guess, you know, for our iwi to survive and to be the best that we can be, we have to pave the way for our rangatahi. And I look at my whanaunga down in Otago, Ngāi Te Ruahikihiki ki Otago, and ko te nuinga o rātou he tamariki o te kotahi mano kaika.
Tika.
Mātanga katoa i te reo Māori, ngā tikanga Māori. And that's the change. Those rangatahi now, ko tō rātou reo matua, ko te reo Māori.
Tika.
Ko tō rātou whakaaro matua, ko te whakaaro Māori. And if there's a gap in areas, maybe it's time just to let them be them. And our generation, the generation that's following us, cuz, is going to take over our country.
Straight up.
You know, we look in Parliament already, there's hana.
Yeah.
We look at our kotahi mano kaika tamariki, our kura kaupapa tamariki. This generation, they've got no fear.
Yeah.
And they're going to take over the country, and good.
Yeah.
But we need to be there to let them.
Yeah, their generation, they don't question themselves at all.
They
know who they are.
Exactly.
They know where they're from, and they know where they're going.
That's right.
Yeah. Shaha o wawata mo o ake tamariki.
Koira te kōrero, ta maiti akona ki te kāinga. Tū ki te marae, tū ki te ao, tauana. Ko aku wawata mo taku pāhara keke. Kia tū rangatira, kia tū maia, kia tū ātea. I roto i tō rātou hikoitanga ki te ao. You know, I've got 17-year-old twin daughters, soon to be 18. And they'll navigate some challenges, nā aupiki, nā auheke. And if Kata and I can be there to support them and guide them and helping those challenges, ka pai. Whatever they want to pursue, whatever their passion is, go for it. My boy, you know, he's still got a bit to go. He's not quite started high school yet, but he'll be around and whatever they're into, go for it.
And what legacy would you like to leave behind for your tamariki?
Wow, I haven't thought about that ever before, cuz. If people can remember that I was a nice, humble man, a loving husband, a loving father, ka pai tērā.
Thank you so much for your time today, Kazi Rulon, a.k.a. The Butcher, and not because of his league skills. It's been a great kōrero, Kazi. Thank you so much for your time today.
Nā mihi e te tuahine.
Nā reira, it's another episode of Tahu Talks whānau. If you enjoyed that kōrero, let us know. What part did you enjoy? Push that like button on the episode. Share it to all your whānau as well. And we'll be back next time. See you, bye.